have 7 viewers right now. I think with that 112, we might want to get started, and then as people trickle in, we'll catch them up. But yeah,
let's go for it. Okay, awesome, fantastic. So yes, as you've probably figured out, today we're going to be demoing the Blackmagic Pocket 6K cinema camera. We've got a fun handheld build set up here today. I'll go through some of the specifics in a moment. We're going to cover some of the accessories that we like to kit out this camera with, and then talk about why we like them. And then yeah, we're going to show you some footage soon here that's been shot on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K, so you can get an idea of what is capable with this camera. So yeah, actually let's start with some of the B-roll there. Connor, if you want to cue that up.
Thinking things are gonna be this way. I was younger, I was like hiding my back. Now I just fade away. You can watch your favorite TV shows. Since I cut the cord a couple years ago, never felt so alone. Modern life can really get you down. So drink a drink and smoke a smoke. Maybe I'll see you around. Think about it all for the rest of my life. I'll be drinking at the bar for the rest of the night. Think about it all for the rest of my life. I'll be drinking at the bar for the rest of the night.
All right. So yeah, that footage was courtesy of our lead tech here, camera ambassador Eric Silver. Shout out to Eric. Might be watching. If you are, get back to work. Let's dive into this this build here. So this is the camera that Eric shot all that footage with. Basically a very similar build and structure that we'll go over today. Let's start with just some of the basic specs here. So the Blackmagic Pocket 6K camera is a Super 35mm EF mount camera. It's capable of shooting in true 6K resolution, 4K and below as well. Today we're going to be building it out with a few of our shop favorites here. We're going to be using a 502 small HD monitor. We're getting power from one of our V-mounts and battery brackets here. We've got a little shotgun mic that we'll go over. Of course, we've got to use the Samsung SSD solid state drive here that we're recording footage onto, and you'll offload on from this as well. And we're also going to be demoing some of our Leica R lenses today. Connor, pick a focal length. Give me your favorite number that's 1928, 35, 50, or 90.
well, 7 times 4 is 28.
Let's do it, man. I love 28. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. All right. Set this guy up here. So, yeah, one of the nice convenient parts of the Blackmagic Pocket 6K here is that they did incorporate the EF lens mounting system this time, as opposed to their Micro Four Thirds, which was kind of a hassle to work with and find adapters for and compatible lenses. But now it's much easier with the EF mounting system. Any EF lens mount will fit on here, cinema or studio photography otherwise, all that jazz. Our Leica R kit, though, to speak upon that for a little bit here, these are our cinemodded Leicas. So originally they're just photography lenses, but we had all of them cinemodded where we added a gear, a focus gear to them, and we declipped the aperture. So it's much easier and convenient now to change aperture. You don't have to hear that click every time that you would with a normal photography lens. Our kit has 7 lenses in it. I did a quick rundown, but I'll do it again here. We've got the 19mm, the 35mm, the 50, the 60, the 90, and the 135, all to choose from in this Leica R kit. All cinemodded, all ready to rock. Just pick your poison. Okay, great. That's in there. Connor, do you have the specs to show?
They are up and live for people to look at.
Look at that. I don't have a direct view, so I'm going to have to rely on Connor's eye to tell me what's working and what's not working. I'd also love viewer feedback, too, if you want to tell me what's working and what's not working. And I swear, if you say I'm not working, I'm going to have a problem. But anyway here. So yeah, we're going to set up the small HD monitor. I will say, the biggest downside that I've noticed with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K is that the monitor on the back is built in directly to the body of the camera, and it doesn't articulate in any way. So it's pretty inconvenient. It's hard to look at, especially trying to go for like a low-angle shot or a shot where you don't have a direct line of sight to the back of the camera. So we always recommend pairing it with an external monitor. You're just going to get higher quality. You're just going to get LUT overlays. There's just a lot of pros to using an external monitor, but I'd say it's pretty much necessary when shooting with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K here. So let me set this up. Give me a second here to screw things in, which is 75% of filmmaking, especially cinematography, I've learned. Lots of screwing, lots of different cable sizes, lots of different screw sizes. There we go, looking good. So this cage that we have on here comes with our Blackmagic Pocket 6K. It's a small rig cage. It has a bunch of mounting options, which is extremely convenient here. Different size threads as well. You got your core 20s, your 3/8, all options available here. Okay. Also, you know, if you guys have any questions during this demo, just type them in the comments. Connor is looking at it. He'll shout out if there's anything that you guys want answered in this process here. Crank that, soldier boy. Good. Good. Okay. We are powering this monitor with one of our LPE6 dummy batteries to P-tap. It just makes it easier to just power everything off of this back V-mount battery here, and then our battery baseplate itself has a couple extra power ports, as well as the battery has its own P-tap port. So we just got nothing but power flowing through this thing here. Nothing but power flowing through the fingertips as well. Alright, got that thing loaded up. Perfect. Let's see here. Next we've got handy-dandy HDMI cable. The convenient part of the Blackmagic Pocket 6K is that it's a full-size HDMI, as opposed to a few other of these more compact DSLR-looking setups. This one happens to be full-size, so you don't have to worry about getting a micro or mini HDMI or down-converting or anything crazy like that. Just pull out whatever HDMI is around you, because that's the best HDMI I've learned. Or the HDMI in your heart. Perfect. Easy peasy. No one, actually everybody can judge my cable management, because I'm going to tell you it's not going to be super great right now, but we're making it work.
Well, honesty is the best policy.
I just want transparency. You know, if you're going to get anything from Camera Ambassador, transparency.
How do you feel? Should we have our accessories pop up now?
Yeah, let's show off what accessories we'll be using today. And these are all accessories, obviously, that we offer in-house here at Camera Ambassador. So everything that you see built can be rented, can be demoed, can be discussed. We do free preps. As long as the gear doesn't leave the studio, you're more than welcome to schedule in advance to come in and try out any gear, do some tests, offer all of that for free. So if you're feeling up for it and we don't have any other preps going on in the studio at the time, give us a call, schedule a demo, and try anything that you see here or anything you see on our website. Try it out. So, okay, that's looking good. All right, we move on to the microphone here. We were having a conversation earlier about what is the cutest cable, and in the running here is definitely the Mini XLR. This thing's adorable, this thing's tiny, and this thing is powerful. Connor, what's your favorite cable?
Earlier I said the USB-C, and I think I'm going to stand to it. There's something about the ergonomics about that is just such a cute little cable.
USB-C is great. The fact that I can move it,
Yeah.
and not have to worry about plugging in. Why can't we all?
It
just have
feels
that?
so approachable and universal.
It is approachable.
But that's a great question, and actually have another great question from Grace Elizabeth coming in, wondering, are we using a lens adapter?
Are we using lens adapter? No, we are not. The awesome part with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K is that it is a native EF mount. So no lens adapter needed if you're shooting on an EF lens. So that opens up a lot more possibilities in terms of lens options. We do not have to worry about micro four thirds or any other crazy lens adapters. We're just going straight on. Our flange depth is prime. We're good. Also, Grace, what's your favorite cable? I want to know. Throw your answer in the comments. Also, anybody else, please tell us what your favorite cable is, and we'll keep that conversation going too. Dope. Okay. Next up, I'm going to use this Airy Manual Follow Focus 1. It is our most affordable follow focus option. It's all manual. It's just we got one smart side to it. It's adjustable for either size rods if you're going with your smaller size or the larger rods, depending on whatever your build is. But yes, we're using the Airy Manual Follow Focus 1. This gets set up. Actually, on the other side so you guys can see. I know what I'm doing.
Oh, we have a response from Grace on her favorite cable. Pop that
Yes! What is it?
up. I got to think about that. It's her response.
There are many options. I promise I won't hold you to it. I will just always bring that cable around with me. Go. Perfect. Okay, nice and condensed. Looking good. Let's talk a little bit about this follow focus some more here. So it does have its own hard stops that you can set yourself. Hard stops are great. If you're doing a difficult pull that you know is going to be precisely at one point, let's say you're doing some tabletop stuff, and maybe you're pouring some liquid and you need to quickly track focus between the end of the bottle to the rim of the glass. You can set your hard stops to wherever you want your focus to end. You can whip it as much as you want, not too much though, please don't break our gear. And you'll guarantee to stop right on that hard stop there, nail your focus every time. Your director is going to be super happy. Your DP is going to call you back. They might even give you a raise. You're going to double your day rate because you nailed all those hard stops. And you're going to be like, how'd you even do that? You're like, I just watched the Blackmagic Pocket 6K gear demo, and I learned this, and it changed my life. Next, we have the speed crank. The speed crank is a fun little tool here that goes into the follow focus. Let's say your camera's in kind of a hard to reach place. This allows you to adjust where your grip is. It also just gives you more torque if you really need to crank that focus around, whip it into space. Ooh, don't whip it too hard though. And you can achieve your dreams. Okay. That looks good. That looks good. I'm just speaking fast here, but if anybody has any questions, please put them in the comments, and I'd be happy to answer them. Very happy to. Okay, what's next here? Let's go over. Connor's the map box sitting. Map box is over here. 1 second. Okay. Now I brought up this matte box just more of just to show you the capabilities. I think it's kind of overkill on a build like this since everything is so compact and condensed. But this is the Arri LMB25 clip-on matte box. If you're familiar with any other clip-on matte boxes, the principle is the same thing here. You just get the proper diameter of your lens. We have a bunch of different step-down rings to fit multiple size lenses. You attach to the front, tighten it down, and there's no need to worry about rods, rod adapters, different thread sizes, all that jazz. However, like I said, I don't know if I would use it for this particular build just because we're already so compact and condensed, and we are losing our depth between the follow focus and the lens here. But clip-on matte boxes are a game changer, super light, any type of gimbal, Steadicam work, highly recommend using clip-on matte box just to kind of keep your build more condensed and ergonomic. Okay.
I will interject and say that we have a response from Grace. She would love to not knock earbuds or airbuds, but her favorite cable is her headphones.
Whoa, okay, that's cool. I like that. That's good. We're going out of the camera world into the audio world. Endless possibilities with cables. Endless possibilities. If anybody else wants to tell me what their favorite cable is, I would love to hear it. That's my new favorite question now. So tell me your favorite cable, please. Great. Karan, can you throw the specs back up? I think we'll talk a little bit more about the capabilities of the Blackmagic Pocket 6K here. Dope. So yeah, obviously as the name implies, the shining factor of this camera is the ability to shoot in true 4K resolution. Obviously, distribution still really isn't to true 6K yet. Down-resing to 4K seems kind of be the standard right now. But with 6K, you know, obviously you're allowed to crop in if you want to have like a wider frame and still guarantee some high-quality resolution in your crops. The higher the resolution is also used for more VFX work. So Blackmagic, they were the first to market to announce their new 12K camera, which to me sounds about 8K's excessive. But they want to be the first, and that's okay. But yeah, I mean, in my experience, what I've learned mostly is that higher resolutions like this are better for more VFX work because you're kind of guaranteeing to capture all the colors that you're seeing and have more nuance when it comes to post to composite your VFX work on top of your image. So yeah, I think that's the only reason why I would use the 6K. The 4K seems to work great. Or yeah, again, I guess if you're cropping in, if you're trying to do some like interview set with one camera and you want to have like your wide set up in 6K and then post crop into a more medium shot in 4K to kind of guarantee that you have comparable quality between the two. That's another reason I think I would use 6K. But at that point, you know, it's like rent a second camera, which Camera Ambassador has many. So let's see, what else we talk about here? Oh yeah, slow motion. So this thing does have a variable frames per second adjustment. You can go up to 120 frames per second, which is some nice slow-mo. I was kind of hoping for maybe a 240 or something like that, but I mean, we're not all Zack Snyder, so keep your slow motion to a tasteful minimum, I guess. And I mentioned earlier, this thing does record to solid state drive, so there's not really any need for an extra, well, it takes CFast cards as well, but if you want to get that full 6K resolution, you need the solid state drive, which we provide with this package, so you can still shoot 6K. But if you want to shoot 4K, if you want to shoot just HD, anything like that, just a CFast card will work. The CFast cards are those larger than SD cards, but not as big as like a Red Mag or something crazy. I'm pretty sure we offer multiple size CFast cards as well. We have some 250 gigabyte sizes. So I don't know exactly what the runtime is, but I can get back to you on that if that's a question that any of you have. What else is great to talk about here? So, I mean, yeah, with this microphone build, what's nice is that you're recording your audio directly onto your footage. So with this type of setup, there's no need to record external audio and worry about syncing in post. I mean, I think that's kind of become commonplace now amongst just digital cameras, contemporary digital cameras, is that they allow for the audio to be embedded with your video. Obviously, you should still slate. You should still clap your shots because there's a lot of important information on your slate that your editor is going to love to see. But in terms of like worrying about syncing up your post or spending hundreds of dollars on some red giant syncing software, you don't have to worry about that. Everything is just going to be all built into this camera here. Isn't that fun?
We have a couple new questions from Grace if you're open to taking some more.
Rock and roll, hit me!
All right, let's go ahead and have this first question. And from Grace, I've seen friends have issues with this camera in shooting in 60 frames when a battery dips below 50%. Do you know about this, or have you experienced anything like this?
I have personally not experienced anything like this. That doesn't completely surprise me, though. I feel like with such a tiny camera like this, there's going to be a lot of processing power needed to kind of ramp up. And obviously, when you're shooting at a higher frame rate, your camera's going to be processing the load a lot faster. So I have not heard anything about that. But do you know what battery, perchance, your friend was using? We sent this kit out with one of these V-mount batteries, and I like these a lot more than some of the more proprietary options that they offer you. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more power coming out of these V-mounts. You're going to have a longer runtime, and you're going to be able to power your accessories from this as well. So I would say, if you have that issue, definitely just have more batteries on standby, but trying to keep it in the world of these V-mount batteries might alleviate some of that weird power issue. Great question, though. I'm going to ask another tech, too, to see if they know anything about that as well, because I haven't heard that. But
They were using a Canon LP6.
LPE6, yeah. So those dudes are tiny. I would assume, yeah, it just didn't have the power to process everything the camera was going through. Same. But these V-mounts, though, I think these will do the trick. I really do. And the kit comes with a few, so you can swap out. You don't have to worry about relying on just one battery. If it goes down, we got you covered. We got more. We got so much more.
And then we also have another follow-up from Grace, which was, what's the max recording time if shooting in 6K on one of your SS?
I knew that that question was coming, and I did not prepare for it. So, Connor, would you mind assisting on what our max recording time is at 6K? I'm going to throw out a guesstimate. So we've got...
Throw out your guesses in the comments, too.
There's guesses in the comments?
Throw them out there.
Oh, yeah, put your guesses in the comments, too. So you have a 500 gigabyte card, SSD card, at 6K. I'm going to say, 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah, that's my guess, at 500 gigabytes. We'll get back to you with that, though. Great question. Another good thing to consider, too, obviously, is your media size is very important when you're coming to set. So knowing how much media you have, how much media is going to be needed to film at whatever resolution you are capturing. Also, just making sure that you have the proper post workflow to handle all of that footage. Making sure you have a DIT on set, or that you yourself bring a computer that kind of can handle that footage coming in. Especially if you're shooting RAW. I mean, that is one of the biggest draws to any Blackmagic product, is that their proprietary flat RAW picture profile is supposed to be the most stretchable, I guess that is the word, in post-production to allow you to color it in many different ways. That can also be the downside, though, of any Blackmagic product, is that if you aren't familiar or well-versed in coloring and that kind of that side of post-production, I don't recommend shooting in a flat profile. It's pretty easy to notice when somebody shoots flat with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K or any Blackmagic camera and then doesn't fully know how to color it, because you're going to have that really milky and desaturated tone that some purists would call an aesthetic. I just kind of call it lazy coloring. But definitely make sure that you are versed in that side of coloring, especially when it comes to the proprietary Blackmagic flat picture profile. That being said, though, you can also shoot with more baked-in color spaces and more of a baked-in look, so you don't have to worry about that extra side of post-production where you're having to balance all your footage, adjust all your colors, bring your skin tones back, watch out for your highlights, all that stuff that film school teaches you about. Any update on recording sizes?
Yeah, so I'm going to read this verbatim. The new Pocket Cinema Camera 6K uses the same LPE6 battery as the 4K. Blackmagic states that the new Pocket 6K will get approximately 45 minutes of runtime.
45 minutes, that's just running, I think it's just camera turning on, power-wise. Okay. Yeah, and that's just on one LPE6 battery, which we can give you more than 45 minutes of runtime with a VMount battery. These are stronger, more powerful, and just overall better. Why settle for anything less? That's what we say here at Camera Basket. Why settle for anything below the best? And that's why we give you some VMount batteries. But we'll get back to you on the recording time for these memory cards. Connor, I think if you want to look up, I feel like it'll probably just be, we got a table. We got a table. Let's check this out here. Let's check this out. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So it also depends on your frame rate, Grace. Let's say you're shooting 24 frames per second. In 6K with a 500 gigabyte card, you're going to have 130 minutes of runtime. That's pretty good. If you're shooting 60 frames per second at 6K, you're going to have only an hour of runtime. Something to consider. However, that basically just doubles when you down-res to 4K. So at 60 frames per second, you'll have 120 minutes, and at 24 frames per second in 4K, you'll have around 300 minutes. So that's pretty good. That's really solid, actually. Thank you for this, Connor.
Yeah, pleasure. We'll drop that in the comments as well for people to reference.
We will. Let me mention some fun stuff about this tripod here, too. I don't know how much you can see, but this tripod is all carbon fiber legs. It is super lightweight and easy to carry and work with. It's also magnetized at the feet, so when you collapse it all together, it stays nice and compact and doesn't the legs don't spread out everywhere when you're trying to carry it up a hill or something crazy. The spreaders at the bottom here can also be fully extended, so this tripod can act as a hi-hat. That's the word. There we go. So you can go your camera right on the floor and still make sure that you remain balanced and properly leveled and stationary. This is the Sockler DV12 tripod head, by the way. That's Sockler DV12 tripod head. It is a you've got your pan and your tilt adjustments, and you've got different degrees of motion in terms of how you lock the, there we go, there, how you lock your pan and tilt. So let's see if we lock that, open that up, there we go, there too. I mean, it's a tripod, folks. You understand how tripods work, right? We don't have to go too much into the nuances of being a tripod. Lock that down there too. Dope. Okay. Train of thought is just going to keep on rolling here, unless anybody has any more questions they want to throw into the comments. Also, I'm just going to keep throwing it out there. What is your favorite cable? I want to know. I legitimately would like to know, because there's many options. There's no wrong answer, and I think it says a lot about a person too. So. What's your favorite cable? Okay, great. Connor, any of the questions coming through in the comments here?
Not yet. We're going to be dropping in that table, too, for everybody to reference.
Nice.
And so we'll have more than just at the 500 GB. And we should say this is courtesy of News Shooter. News Shooter. That's a trustworthy source. That's not fake news. I follow News Shooter since high school, I think. Something like that. What else to consider, that already hasn't been considered?
go. I've already stated it, but I'm going to keep stating it, that I just love this cage here. We've got so many different mounting options on the side. Of course, I put the monitor on the top handle, which some would argue is a little inconvenient to grab from the top here. That's fine, I understand. But with the cheese plate that's been built into this small rig case here, you've got mounting options on either side of the camera. You have another mounting option on a port back here. I mean, you can redirect anything almost, especially with this microphone. Actually, hand this over here so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Swoop! Look at that. Yeah, so this microphone here is actually on like a SWAT rail. I think that's what it's called. That's some tactical term that I don't know anything about because I don't like guns. But it's on this rail, and you can slide it depending on where you want to mount it. And so you don't have to be like locked into one screw position, I guess is what I'm saying. Since it's important to obviously have no cables or anything that kind of interfere with your microphone while it sits in this nice little condenser chamber here. It's nice to be able to kind of like fly your microphone away from the build itself a bit and let it rest peacefully. We're all about peaceful resting. It's back over here. Oh, not that one. Here we go.
And then we also have from Grace, do you already talk about audio input?
Audio input. Yeah, we can go over that again. So for, we'll come back on this side actually. There we go. This camera uses mini XLR. So it's kind of an odd cable, but we give it to you, so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, the mini XLR cable, obviously one end is full-size XLR going into the camera, the microphone, and the other end is a similar 3-prong XLR, but a quarter of the size. Basically, all your inputs are on this, I guess it'd be the dummy side of the camera. Here they are. And over here is where you've got your mini XLR port, you've got your HDMI cables, you've got your SSD, USB, and you also have a a headphone jack for easily monitoring your audio. So yes, for audio inputs, it is mini XLR, which is the cable that we can provide you with. It also accepts, lavalier microphones if you're using that route as well. The mini XLR cable is pretty universal. One side being full-size XLR, the other side being mini. So as long as whatever audio device you're using, be it a lavalier or be it a shotgun microphone, a condenser microphone, any microphone that has an XLR input will accept this setup here. So no need to worry about that. Show that off over here again too. And I think, I think my favorite cable is the Mini XLR, and this is a new discovery of mine. This is a very new discovery of mine. I was not aware how adorable the Mini XLR cable was until Eric Silver, shout out, E-Dog, handed it to me and was like, yo, check this out. This thing is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I said, stop it. He said, no, the cable. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And then for power, we've got a 2-pin LEMO from our V-mount back here. So that's also pretty standard. I think this cable, is 2-pin LEMO over here to P-tap that goes straight into the V-mount on the back. Again, we have 2 P-tap power ports on the battery bracket itself. So it's pretty easy to kind of redirect power and power multiple accessories all from one localized spot. Man, convenience is the name of the game I'm learning with this thing as I ramble through it. What else? We've also got, so in addition to this small rig cage that we have here, we also have the small rig baseplate and dovetail. And this allows for rods to be mounted to it. Standard size rods, we're not getting anything crazy up in here. I think we've got 12-inch rods on here now to accommodate for our extra follow focus that needs to be attached. But obviously at Camera Ambassador we offer many different rod sizes depending on whatever your build is, so we'll be happy to kind of customize something from there. Connor, how's it looking?
It's looking great. Yeah.
Fantastic. And
Good.
again, if anybody has any questions, please shout them out, because I won't stop talking until I've been told to. So, ooh, that looks good. Are we level? Yeah, we are. Of course we are, because we're professionals. Let's talk some more about. I mean, I really like these Leica R's. They are on the more affordable side of the lenses that we offer here at Camera Ambassador. But I mean, you're getting the trusted quality that would come from a Leica lens to begin with, so you don't have to worry about dropping, Boku dollars on some like Zeiss CP2 or CP3. Obviously, when you're going from photography lenses to cinema lenses, there is going to be an optical difference. So I'm in no way saying that these are better than cinema prime lenses. However, with the Cinemod edition that we've given these lenses, I would say they're comparable, at least in accessibility and convenience, to some of the more cinema prime lenses that we offer here at the shop. Speaking of cinema primes, though, because this is an EF mount camera, we can attach a whole slew of different cinema EF lenses to it. For example, the CP3s and the CP2s. Both of those have the ability to go from either PL or EF, so we can fit those out to the EF lenses for you here. We can also do, obviously the Canon Cineprimes are already built to be EF. It's in the namesake there, so those are ready to rock. Any option you can think of that has the EF ability can be mounted on here. And then some of the longer EF lenses too, instead of going from like a servo zoom or some type of anything that automatic zoom, those like big, beefy Canon lenses, we would give you obviously a lens support system that's just attaches to your rods, has this little metal screw that comes out from the top. You just screw that into your lens and it helps kind of support that awkward weight, because I recognize that obviously this camera is very compact and tiny, and so attaching a lens to it might actually feel more like you're attaching a camera to a lens as opposed to a lens to a camera, but we try to alleviate that with the lens support systems that we offer in case your build becomes a little too front heavy in any way. But yeah, EF mounts are so cool. PLs are pretty cool too, though, because you got that extra security there. Okay, PLs are dope. I like PLs a lot. But I mean, it's so convenient. It's so convenient with an EF. Like, how can you not? How can you not? There we go.
Yeah, we're in the last 10 minutes. I don't know if you want to run through the specs maybe one more time, where you hit the B-roll one more time for people to see, close us out.
Yeah, let's hit up the specs one more time. So again, as you've figured out, this is a 6K camera. True 6K recording on a Super 35mm sensor. You can record in 4K as well. You're not just locked in to some big file sizes. You can record in 1080. It has different frame rate options as well. You can go 120 frames per second, 60 frames per second. Heck, throw it into 30 for all of our European friends out there. We like PAL just as much as we like NTSC, so no discrimination there. But then, of course, bring it back to 24. Bring it back to what we're used to. 24 frames per second is also an option. What else we talk about spec-wise? Is the spec graphic up there?
Yeah, we got it up here.
Sweet. Where is it? Is it here?
It's in your bottom right.
Bottom right.
There you go.
This one?
Yeah,
Look at that! Great. So there's obviously a lot of information there as well that I can just regurgitate to you, or you can read for yourself. I trust everybody watching this can read that. But yeah, as I stated earlier, I'm going to restate again here is, we offer free camera preps and demos as long as the gear doesn't leave the shop. So if you're interested in experimenting with the Blackmagic 6K, trying out different lens options, maybe playing around with some follow focus options, give us a call in advance or email us and set up a time to come in, and you can demo this whole rig free of charge as long as it stays in our prep days.
Yeah, and would you like to maybe speak to our prep days or COVID kind of policies right now?
Yes, so if you guys haven't heard, we're in a pandemic right now. So we are taking the extra precautions to make sure that everybody stays safe during all of this. So we are limiting the number of preps that come into our space at a time. We try to keep it
just to only one prep a day. But obviously, you know, if people shooting, we have to stagger time. So please let us know in advance so we can find the right time window for you to come in and have your own just quarantine time to play around with the cameras. Every time the camera goes out or comes back in, our techs make sure to sanitize everything. We sanitize the cases, we sanitize the gear. We have different specific sprays and wipes to use on different types of metals to make sure that we don't, you know, take off any paint or that we don't, you know, ruin any logos or stickers that come on the camera. We take very good care, and we've got a whole spreadsheet devoted to the proper sanitation techniques that we use here. And then, of course, we offer curbside pickup and drop-off for any order as well. So there's no need to come hang out waiting for us to pull your order in our lobby. Everything will be ready by the time you get here, and our tech will bring it out to the curb for you to load into your car. And then when you come back to drop it off, the same process. You can just pull your car up to the front of our studio, drop off your gear, and our tech will come bring it into the shop and sanitize everything. And you don't have to worry about that because we don't want you to worry. We want to worry. We want you to make films. And that's basically, you know, the gist of our COVID safety precautions right now. Obviously, this is a very fluid situation. Things change every day, and new information comes in every day. But we adapt, you know. We just, like, keep it fun and flirty here. Let's end it, I guess, with some B-roll. Unless there's any other questions that people might have, let me know. But if not, we'll close it out with some example footage shot by our lead technician, Eric Silver. And even when this broadcast ends, maybe you do have some questions, throw it out in the comments there, and we'll get back to you. Drop us an email. You can find us on Instagram at Camera Ambassador. You can find us on Facebook at the very page that you're watching this from. And our email is very simple, rentals@cameraambassador.com. My email, austin@cameraambassador.com. Say hi. Tell me what your favorite cable is. Please flood my inbox with a bunch of people's favorite cables. I would love to read that. I really would. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning into the demo, everybody. I hope this was fun and informative. I know I had fun. And we're going to end it with some B-roll. So yeah, thanks again, everybody, and have a good week.
Thinking things about to be this way. I was younger, I was like hiding my back. Now I just fade away. You can watch your favorite TV shows since I cut the cord a couple years ago. Never felt so alone. Modern life can really get you down. So drink a drink and smoke a smoke. Maybe I'll see you around. Think about it all for the rest of my life. I'll be drinking at the bar for the rest of the night. Think about